Alright, so we got a customer's aloe going crazy. So just gonna kinda do a little bit of explaining as I go here as I can and repot it and bring you along for the ride. This is quite the crazy little monster. Oof. Cheese. There's so many little guys in here that are just falling apart. So what's nice about these guys though is you can put them in, you know, I wouldn't put it back in this. Well, maybe I will put it back in this. I'll add some of my succulent soil to it. Obviously it's succulent, but you know, they probably bought it like this. And this is what happens when you don't do anything with it. It just absolutely rots off roots. There's nothing left like most of this. But what I can do is take each one of these guys, because you'll get more roots. Some of them have roots, but you'll get more roots popping up down on the bottom down here, and so on. But so like I was just saying, I guess. So I'll add some of my gritty mix to this. It'll help with drainage. It'll help keep the root rot away, so it'll actually start producing more roots. There's not much here on any of this. A lot of it's just rotting away. Like there's roots in here, but it's incredibly hard to tell. It's just rotting right away. And then being in this soil, that's why you get this type of growth. You get a lot of surface growth, because that's where the water will sit. The surface will dry out, so they'll start growing there. And then it'll just start pushing roots down for the water, but it being such water retaining moisture, or water retaining soil, sorry, it'll stay really wet down here. So you can just dig in here, and that's wet. You know, the roots aren't going to survive in this. They're just not going to do it. So seems like good soil, just not for these. Good drainage, people. Good drainage. Alright, I'm gonna go look for a pot. Here's one right off the bat I can give her. So I'm going to use some of this. So because I have clay particles, stone, grit, what I do is I will size a hole, or size of the bottom pot, I'll cut down a screen just to cover that up, so that gravel, grit, clay, pumice mixture doesn't fall through those holes. So then I will take this, not a lot of roots on there, but while planting other things that have more roots, you want to just make sure and this just helps, these just help better. They help you get down in there. It's better than your fingers, because if you do have smaller roots, you can get down, it's a chopstick by the way, you can get down in there safer and easier. You're not going to push and crush as much. So, benefits to using the right tools. And then I have sifted some of my gritty stuff out. So there's less dust particle in it. It just helps with drainage. less moisture retention, so on. Just kind of make sure this is sitting on top here nicely. But the reason I put it on top like this is the less moisture retention, because this guy is pretty in there, so there's going to be less moisture on his leaves, branches, stalks, whatever you want to call them with an aloe, leaves. So there'll be less moisture right up against the leaves themselves, and then I use my mix down lower where the roots are going to be growing and functioning better. So it's really just rinse and repeat. It's just how much moisture content do you want your soil to be retained? How much do you want to sit there and then drain off? How quick do you want it to drain? And try to learn if you have interest in a type of plant. I'll always suggest to try to learn about the plant before you acquire the plant, so that you just have a grasp on where you're going with it, what you're doing with it. You're not just kind of jumping in. So you don't want to waste your money. You want to do as much research as you can on what you're trying to purchase before you purchase it, so you at least have a baseline. Make notes, grab a calendar, grab a plant calendar. Now, I always say, don't water on a schedule. Water when it's dry. Even I did a little video the other day about jays that I'll have out soon enough. But those I can water almost every 3 days on a schedule. I just know the soil. I know my environment. I actually can water on a schedule with those particularly. But that also being said, I can let them go for an extra 3-4 days and not have issues with it, because I know my plants. I know the situation that they're in, I know where they're at, what type of soil I'm using for them, their water retention, things like that. Figure out what you want, do the research on it, and then grab that calendar and then just start marking down when you do water. So then you can kind of start giving yourself a schedule over time. Then you can start figuring out, well, it gets dry every 2 days, it gets dry every 10 days, it gets dry every, hell, if it's a big old cactus, it gets dry every 100 days. That is a thing. We have a big, I believe it's a barrel cactus here in the house, and I believe we only water it like every 3 months. We leave it alone. We don't touch it. During the summer a little bit more. During the winter, like probably twice a winter, about every 3 months throughout the winter. But yeah, just give yourself a baseline. Grab a calendar, write down when you are watering, so that you can build yourself a schedule based on what you have in your house and your environment, and then follow through during the summer. 90% of your plants, almost 100% of your plants, can go outside all summer long too. So yeah, guys, it's just kind of a basic rundown explanation on aloe in that sense. Got any questions or anything? Shoot me a message or Learning Roots at gmail.com, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you can shoot a message to me. So yeah, there you have it. Thanks for watching.